It appears that the loss of Fort Capuzzo has roused the Italians to action. They have dispatched an ad hoc unit, I believe their term for it is raggruppamento, to sweep the border area near Fort Capuzzo and put an end to the raids we've mounted so successfully of late. This is a combined arms formation, and the key to defeating it is overcoming the Italian armor. It is doubtful that you'll encounter medium tanks. None have yet been seen in action in this theater, and so far as we know, their armored element will consist of the very light tanks they seem so fond of. Once you've dealt with them, the rest of the unit should be open to destruction. Don't waste the opportunity. This battle will prove to be the very first armored action of the campaign, and it is imperative that you land a heavy blow.
Alright, welcome back to the third episode of Panzer Corps Allied Corps DLC playthrough, and let's not waste any time and get right to it. So, the last scenario ended pretty well for us, with us getting a attack +2 battle hero on the second recon here. And we only took 2 casualties overall on the first recon, so we're just gonna place them for free, and we can deploy 8 units in this scenario. We got 6 in reserve, so let's get another 2. I do want 1 more artillery, and we're gonna rename that to Second Mot Art for Second Motorized Artillery. And we are gonna upgrade the British infantry to have Bren Carrier for transport, rather than lorries. I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to both of these, but I'd say Bren Carrier is the most solid one. The only thing with lorries is they can move 8 tiles instead of 6, which is the movement of the Bren Carriers. However, the Bren Carriers can defend themselves and also attack. So say there is an enemy that barely got away with 1 strength left, and it's gonna get back to full strength next turn. Well, you could chase it down with a Bren Carrier and take it out. Now, of course, this will leave that Bren Carrier vulnerable to counterattacks, so, you know, you gotta use this intelligently, otherwise you could suffer the consequences. So yeah, well, we're upgrading our infantries to be mechanized, and we are going to rename them to reflect that, to First Mech Inf for First Mechanized Infantry, and Second Mech Inf. And there we go, we have 1 more unit we can get, and I'm thinking it could be good to get a cruiser, so we have an actual tank instead of these armored vehicle only, or armored vehicles, plural. We're going to call that First Cruisers. Now, the way you're supposed to be playing this map is attack these guys here, basically use the anti-tank gun, wipe this guy out, use the tank, wipe this guy out, and keep pushing up north, right? Establish some lines, use artillery for support, etc. We're going to be doing it a bit differently though. We're going to go for a high-risk, high-reward strategy here. And I will explain for you in a second what that is. Let's just get our units out there. Now, you might have noticed we have 3 victory points. Already ours. Now the thing is, the first time you take over a victory point on a map, you will get prestige points for it. If you lose it and retake it, you won't get any more, but let me press F7 real quick to bring up this tab so we have it there. But if we were to give these victory points to the Italians and then take them back, that would gain us 150 prestige points. Each one of these are worth 50 prestige points to us. They're normally worth 100, at least the gold frame ones, and the non-gold frame ones are worth 50, so 25 to us. The thing is, to the Italians though, on this difficulty, as these are worth 50 to us, they also happen to be worth 150 to the Italians. So we'd be giving the Italians 450 prestige points to gain 150 ourselves. But we are more likely to make more use of those prestige points, so I think that could be good. The thing, doing it this way really forces us to push hard and quick later once we get up here, which will probably force us to use a bit more replacements than we would otherwise do, but should, in the end, if we maneuver it correctly, give us a better net gain of prestige on this scenario. So that's what we're going to try to do. So, step 1. Leave the front open and let the enemy take it all. We're just gonna fall back and invite the enemy to go and take our stuff. We don't want to start fighting at all. Well, we do to some degree. But you don't want to start having units here attacking stuff next turn and such, because that might make the Italians not take this city at all, or take a longer time to take it. So we want them to take these things as fast as possible. So hopefully in turn 2 they take this. They've taken those, so we can retake them for at least 100 prestige. We can attack on this flank here. We can put some pressure here, and we will. We're just going to move this guy in here to engage, like such. And we're going to use the tanks to take on these units over here. Now I do want to put a little bit of distance between me and potential units coming in here, so they don't swing this direction and attack my armored units. And I also want to keep these artilleries right next to each other, so they, since we're not really defending them pretty well at all right now, I do want them to have a chance to support each other should they be attacked. However, let us first attack this guy. Good. We do want to take these out if we can, because if we leave these standing, giving the enemy 450 prestige points like this will allow him to reinforce them back up to full strength, something which we would like to avoid. Okay, fantastic, we're off to a good start. RNG was on our side on this one, and we just leave all these other units hanging for now. Except maybe this guy, we can move him down here. They won't see him until they're in the city, and then we can use him to counterattack the city. The AT gun now. Oh, okay, well they still shouldn't see him, but this is unfortunate. I'm hoping one of these units will push down here next turn. And if they don't, then we're just gonna have to start pushing up north, because we can't be taking too long to do that. There's like two groups of units here up here as well that we need to defeat, so we can't take forever doing this. I can send a scout unit up north a little bit, keep the artillery supporting each other for now. And attack like this. Fantastic. Then we can retake this victory point, but I'm not sure we want to, because that might prompt the enemy to not take the city. So in fact, I'll head up to the road here with this tank. And we'll attack these guys with our recon units. Fantastic. Now the enemy can't see that my guys are here. So there's, like, they don't know that these guys are here. They don't really know where any of my things are, except for maybe this guy from having this under their control. But I think they should be going down now, and just taking the city, as they don't have any intel on my unit placement. That's the hope anyway. Let's see. Fantastic, fantastic. And then we take the anti-tank gun over here. This artillery, this infantry as well, we start attacking with the anti-tank gun as it is an auxiliary unit. Oh, look at that. Okay, we didn't really need to use this infantry at all, but maybe the mass attack had something to do with the effectiveness of that. Either way, we can then push in and take out this guy. I'm hoping anyway. That was pretty terrible RNG there. Holy crap, I'll tell you that much. Okay, we might need to send some units back to deal with this real quick. Alright, if we can just brush these guys aside fast and furiously, that would be good. We're taking a little bit of casualties, and we will resupply these units, or reinforce them, I think. So we can use, we can move the artillery. How far can we go with them actually? Like to over here. But we'll actually just go over here, and we'll have this guy in front like this. I don't want the artillery to be caught off guard, but I think mainly the enemy units should be coming down the road here. And we'll use these recon units to move a little bit further north, as far north as we can go. Right. Push up the road as there are more Italian units around. We will. But first, let's attack that guy. And then we move in with these recon units a little bit. Well, we're gonna undo that move actually, and go like this. Then do this and use replacement. So we now have 233 prestige. Actually, that should be a little bit higher. We'll use the anti-tank gun here, as anti-tank guns are kind of shitty to be using in an assault anyway, so we're gonna waste another turn with this to take this back. Then we'll have 283, but we'll spend 9 prestige to get 3 strength replaced here. And we'll rinse and repeat that with this guy for 6 prestige. Then the tanks are currently at 9 and 9, which should be good enough. We'll put them in this area here, which should allow them to maybe ambush some incoming Italian units. We'll just see how that goes down. The infantry I'll keep on the back burner over here so they don't get ambushed in the Bren vehicles. Hopefully there's an opening here where the enemy could go through, but I think they should be coming through on the road, so... Well, we can move these guys up one more step. And that's all I'm willing to do right now. Ah, here they come. At least they didn't see my infantry, so they're not attacking them. And we are taking back this, so we're on 263 prestige right now. That's quite a good lot more than we started with, more than double even, with a little bit of replacements. That being said, let's get the infantry in action here for some mass attack. I'm not sure about this though. Let's see. Well, we'll put him here, so he's not so much at risk for from enemy attacks. We'll start with this guy down here. If we can just focus and get one of these dealt with completely, so there's no reinforcement for him or resupplying, that will be good. See, we're not really completely killing him, even though we attack him with 2 tanks. Or even like that. That's unfortunate. We'll have to move the artillery back a little bit there. Should have maybe done that sooner, but okay. I don't really want to use the recon units for it. But I will for now anyway, and then we can move a little bit further here. This recon unit might be taking off some enemies coming in here. No, there's not going to be any ambush because this guy sees us. But there could be ambush if we send the tank over here. Because this guy can't see that far. Although our artillery is open to attack now, so maybe we actually need to redivert. I had a plan with these guys. I want the recon units to go around here and flank around the front lines of the enemy to take out the artillery, making our frontal assault an easier task. But it looks like we'll have to use them for this now, and it seems to be working out fairly well. Well, if he retreats over here, they will see artillery, and that's actually quite frickin' bad. Right, now the enemy might come with units down here to strike at the artillery, and that's terrible. There we go. At least we do have both artilleries close to each other, so they're supporting each other, suppressing whatever comes in, and we didn't actually lose anything in our artillery, so that's pretty good actually. We're gonna just shell out at these guys for now, try to do a little bit of damage, get rid of them and move on. We'll take on these guys with the scout unit, maybe make it retreat down here. Yes, and then we can take it out with an infantry unit. The prediction said we would at least, but reality wanted it differently. As it often is. But yeah, we'll attack that guy. We're doing a lot less than the combat predictions are saying that we should be doing. But okay, we'll attack this guy like such. Actually, that's a bit of a waste. We could have attacked with this guy. But yeah, whatever. Okay, we'll send this recon over here to do some damage at least here. So this guy can't do too much to our artilleries. Although he keeps retreating, but... whatever, we're gonna get at least 2 scout units going out in this direction. I'll try to surround this guy. So, if you surround if an enemy unit, or one of your units, basically any unit that has 3 units adjacent to it, will not be able to resupply or reinforce itself. For each unit from the enemy faction in adjacent tiles, you will be getting less effect from supplying and replacements. And when it reaches 3, you can't do it. But either way, let's just keep a move on here. I'll put this guy here. It doesn't matter if anything comes to try to attack this infantry, or it doesn't matter that much because we have artillery supporting it. And yeah, we're just gonna try to get some speed on this whole advancer, because we are kind of lagging behind a bit, I'd say. Finish off that guy. And could I... let's go here. Because I know there's an artillery that I would like to attack. And we'll move in like this. The infantry can go there for now. Maybe here instead, so we can have the artillery here to move up and be ready to engage the enemy front line next turn. And we'll put this anti-tank in lorries here just as kind of a distraction for the enemy, so maybe they want to attack it instead of anything that actually is worth something to us. We'll also put this infantry here to shield the artillery should anything go bad, as it might. We'll move this scout unit in first, because as you can see here, there is well, an Italian tank there. But we're gonna attack the artillery. It's okay. Took some casualty there, but it's not too bad. However, the range of these artilleries are 2, so you kind of want to stay outside of the range if you can. And yeah, we can't really attack this guy this turn, I would say, because he will have artillery support backing him up. We can also attack this artillery. That went better. With less forces we did better. I mean, that's how it can be sometimes. And they decided to go for our bait over here, which is nice. We kind of lured this tank cat out into the open, which should work out pretty well for us, I would think. Oh well, I would hope. This guy's taking quite a bit of damage. We might need to fall back with him and reinforce him, actually. And it's also running low on ammo, so that's what we're going to do. We're sending him back here and going for replacements. Shouldn't cost too much. And now we can maybe finish off this artillery. Not quite finish it off, but close enough, maybe. Fall back with this guy, so this artillery does not have range on him. Go in and finish this. Okay, this other artillery did hit in support. Really? Okay, well that failed horribly. That's how it can go down, I suppose. I'm just gonna bombard the living hell out of this specific unit here, so we can hopefully take it out. And I'm just establishing a little bit of a front line here now. That has artillery support. But we need to do more damage to the enemy artillery. That's kind of holding us back a little bit if we haven't. Okay, well, I mean, we're halfway there and we're doing pretty good. So I think our plan is working out for us. Okay. A little bit of suppression there. This guy needs to be reinforced, I think. We'll spend a little bit more points on that, just to have him fully combat effective again. And this is nice. Recon units, you can do this. You can just retreat, reinforce, good to go again next combat. And you can retreat away from where the enemy can see you, so they might divert the forces to somewhere else, because they can't be bothered chasing down a recon unit that, for all the enemy knows, has moved even further into the fog of war. This artillery has 8 of it suppressed. So if we can move in here. And move our artilleries up a little bit here. I mean, artillery could be attacked from doing this, but the thing is, it has artillery behind it to support it, should that happen. So I'm thinking we just fully suppress this artillery. So there is no support from that, and then we attack this artillery. Maybe we can finish... well, that guy's kind of in the way a little bit. And I don't want to get in the range of these artilleries. There is a lot of stuff to consider when you play this game. Well, we could bombard these guys, and they won't have any artillery support, so we could follow that up with an infantry attack. And the thing is, they have 5 suppressed. And there's nowhere for them to retreat right now, so we could actually force a surrender from these guys, which if you can do that, you can really save some time. So I'm hoping, it looks like that might be the case. Yeah, we forced a surrender and took no casualties, so we took out an entire unit there. That's going to be really useful for us. And, well, how do we do this? I think like this. We can move this infantry in here to finish this artillery off. And then we can attack this guy as it has no artillery support. And we're still outside of these artillery's ranges. And let's just blast this guy. Hope we do sufficient amounts of damage. We didn't really, I would say, but it wasn't too bad either. And we'll attack this guy, just to try to inflict some casualties. We did, we took some in return as well, but that's not necessarily a problem. Just fall back a little bit with this guy so he's not within any artillery range, regardless of how they play the artillery next turn. Okay, so they are resupplying these units. We could finish off this artillery, but we have to do it in an intelligent manner. We have to block off its retreat paths, or alternatively make it retreat towards our units. We can do that with both these units actually. Now this is going to leave this guy without ammunition, but it shouldn't be a problem. Oh no, I should have attacked the artillery first. I am an idiot. But at least I wasn't punished for being an idiot. And then we chased that artillery to retreat to our lines. Now these artilleries are going to be reaching this guy. And he could be severely suppressed and attacked. And yeah, it could end poorly. So we need to try to get him some support ASAP. But also we need to... There we go, fantastic. That artillery is gone. And if we just move this guy, well... Let's move this infantry up like this. We can maybe force the retreat from this guy here. If we just suppress him a little bit before we attack him. And we should be able to do that. We can even attack him with the anti-tank, I think, and force the retreat. Force the surrender, I mean. God damn it. Well, that didn't work out at all. Well, at least I was hopeful, I guess. So, you know... Oh, no, I did not mean to do that. But okay, it could have been worse. Either way, let's try to force the surrender. Fantastic. And if we can take this guy out now, that would be very good. Not entirely. I'm gonna move the artillery up a little bit here. And we're gonna put out this guy as bait over here to try to divert some of his forces to go and attack it. That's a plan anyway. We should not be attacking that guy because he has artillery support. Let's get this guy up here. That kind of blocks off the baiting a little bit, but... Oh well. Okay, we're gonna put this guy here so this infantry doesn't get the idea to go and attack artillery over here. Which they would probably be suppressed away from doing by the other artillery anyway, but still. Okay, they're not bombarding this guy, so that's good. Although, if we're unlucky, they could force this guy to surrender. No, they're attacking this guy, okay. That is fine. We just need to get out of here with him. And we can do like this, and then... we're not going to give him replacements. I think we can win this without doing any more waste of prestige points, so we're just going to supply him with more ammunition and such. Then we are going to bombard these guys with artillery. They're fully suppressed. We take them on with the infantry. Force the retreat back there and get a mass attack going like this. Very nice. And then, let's see, maybe we attack the artillery here. If we can force this guy to retreat, that would be good also. Oh, that's beautiful, okay. Very nice, okay. So we can kind of move a tank in here a little bit. It might not be ideal. We're going to just scout with the anti-tank gun. See if anything comes out here to attack it. I think we're pretty on par. We're doing fairly good. Also, let's just finish off these units over here, maybe. I think let's attack this guy. Maybe we can force him to retreat. In fact, we should get him to retreat down here, I think. So he doesn't get artillery support on a follow-up attack. Okay, that's quite a substantial amount of damage. But he cannot... I mean, he's completely surrounded. Surrounded, I mean. We'll just finish off that guy. And then make sure that guy's not going anywhere. He could attack artillery or whatever the heck he wants, really. But whatever he attacks is not going to end well for him. So, there we go. So far, so good. Yeah, okay, that works out for me. Well, we almost doubled our prestige here by doing this strategy. And we got 5 more turns left to finish the mission off, so I think we've been doing fairly well for ourselves. Let's see if First Recon can get a battle here, though. Not quite, but maybe we force a surrender. We did. Okay, that's good. We'll send him over here, and we will continue with our artillery attacks. Just wipe that out so the enemy doesn't have it for support. I mean, they're in front of the artillery, so that's not exactly what I would call an intelligent use of artillery, but, well, if that's what the enemy wants to do, then, you know, it's rude to interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. Although he's pretty much programmed to make that mistake, but either way. We could have not done that attack, actually. We had plenty of time to take our sweet time. We're just going to resupply some units, and... yeah, well, we have 5 turns to finish these last 2 guys here, I believe. So we should definitely be able to do that. We are quite on par, I would say. And we're going to supply this unit. We'll also supply the artillery, so we're ready to strike. We're going to supply these guys here as well. And yeah, we're just kind of preparing for the next turn attack. And we are good to go. And turn. Well, that's good. That works for me. This is the auxiliary tank anyway, so if we take some casualties on him, it really doesn't matter. Same for the anti-tank gun, huh? We're just going to bombard that guy, and we'll attack with something that is an auxiliary first, as we have suppressed 2/3 of this unit. There we go. We'll finish him off with, well, I don't know, something. Alright, we're just moving in and surrounding these units with whatever we can, and let's see what comes of it. Okay, fantastic. And, well, I'd say we wait 1 more turn before attacking that unit, so we can bombard it with artillery. Okay, he's trying a little bit of a cheeky play there. Not gonna work out, though. And here we go. And there we go. And all in all, things have been pretty good. Our units are a little bit burnt out, but we should be able to force a retreat from this guy now. And there you have it, he surrenders. So, yeah, the strategy worked out. This can be a little bit touch and go, just depending on how you do, but we started with 133 prestige, and we came out with 269 with a total gain of 136, so we'd have 150 less, maybe not quite that, but because we would probably be using a little bit on replacements anyway. But the thing is, if you don't go for this high risk, high reward strategy that I went for here, you don't necessarily have to be spending prestige on replacements at all, because you can play a slower engagement as you push north, because you're not wasting like 4 or 5 turns down here before you finally get to push north. So you get up to the fight over here a little bit quicker. But it did work out for us, so we came out on top with more prestige to spend in the next scenario. And yeah, let's just end turn here and see what the debrief has to say. That's a triumph. Well done. Well done indeed. You've utterly defeated the Italian counterattack and made them look like rank amateurs in the bargain. I would say that's accurate. I would say so. Unfortunately, the Italians may follow up, not with another low-level counterattack, but with the major assault we've been expecting from the outset. It appears they have finally begun to move in strength towards the frontier. Prepare yourself. Alright, well, that's what I was doing in this scenario. I prepared myself by getting more prestige points, and it worked out. So, I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, I would appreciate if you would leave a like on the video and maybe even subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you'd like to see more content like this in the future. That being said, thank you for watching and have a good one.